Okay. 5.1 promissory notes, and they are exactly what they sound like. I may get interrupted, so just be aware. It's a promise to pay money, or some people call them IOUs, to repay the money by a certain date. Interest is obviously what you're going to pay above and beyond what you borrow. Principal is the amount you borrow. Rate of interest, we know what that is. These are the two that you need to be careful. Exact interest method is 365 days, and ordinary is 360 days. Sometimes it's called banker's year. So if I go in here, this is an example of a promissory note. So it's got the name of the person, the place that they owe it back to, how long, the amount of money, the date it's due, and the person that it's given to. So it's important to have all those things. Okay, so then it's the exact same thing that we've done before. Interest is literally just principal, or how much you borrowed, rate in percent, and then time in terms of years. So if, for instance, you were given 18 months, you could do 18 over 12, and then that would work fine. Amount due is the amount that you borrowed, and then how much interest that you owe. So an example, let's make sure it's focusing. Jolene borrowed $7,500 from her bank to buy a boat. She signed a 2-year promissory note at 10%. So it's principal times rate times time. So the principal is just the $7,500 times rate, so 10%, times time in terms of years, and it's already in years. So then it's $1,500 interest. So then the amount owed back is going to be the amount they borrowed plus the $1,500. So the amount owed back at the end of the promissory note is going to be $9,000. Okay. So then, and we're going to look at these. We're going to mark out this. We're going to do Terry borrowing $1,000 at 6% for 85 days using exact interest and then the ordinary interest. So first is going to be the 1,000 times the 6% times the 85 days, and exact is how many days we use is 365. So then this one is $13.97. So $13.97 interest. You would add that back if they wanted to know the exact amount owed. And then you do 1,000 here times 6% times 85 days, 360 days, gets you $14.17. Okay, so then the rate of interest is, sometimes they'll give you stuff in terms of, they'll say you owe $50 interest per year. Well, sometimes that's hard to figure what your actual percentage is. So to find your rate of interest, all you do is figure the interest for 1 year. And by that, it's just how much would be paid. It doesn't necessarily mean that's how much you owe for the year, because sometimes promissory notes aren't for an entire year. But in order to use it to find the rate of interest, you have to have how much interest would be paid for the year divided by how much you borrowed. So then we have Ella paid $30 interest on a loan for $1,000 for 3 months. Find the rate of interest she paid. So the interest for 1 year is not the 30, because $30 interest is for 3 months. And so you have to figure out for the whole year. So there's 3 months is a quarter, so there's 4 of those in a year. So it's $120 interest for a year. And then to find the interest rate, we take the 120 divided by 1,000, which gets us 0.12 or 12% interest, which really isn't that great of interest. I guess it depends on what you're being charged on. And then the assignment is page 175, 7 to 33 all.